Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 32. I can't read of the Suicide Squad. No, this is not the Suicide Squad.
Keep going. Let's do it.
This is episode 32 of Cinema Rogues. Apparently, the awkward intro is contagious among the Retro Warriors family.
It always happens at some point.
Yeah, saw Justin in person, and like 3 weeks later, I'm fumbling intros.
There you go. That's what you do. Got to follow in Daddy's footsteps.
Please don't make me call him Daddy. Anyway, welcome back. This episode's probably a week later than our previous episodes, or than what you were expecting, because we were both kind of feeling like, no, we didn't want to record last week, so we didn't.
Yeah, it's probably for the
Podcaster
best.
privilege. Yeah, that is probably for the best. If you want to hear more Andrew, check out Board Game Barbarians, putting out solid content once a month, right?
Yep, once a month, getting it out there. Usually at the edge of our seats every month, because I forget sometimes.
Well, it makes for interesting recording sessions, right?
Yeah. Hey, man, you want to record? I have to put it up in 2 days. I need something now.
You can check out my Twitch TV thing, Sidetail Studios, mostly streaming these days. I was going to put videos of the stuff that I'm streaming, but I feel like that puts on pressure on me, and I don't want to do it, so I don't.
There you go. No pressure.
And then, as always, listen to Retro Warriors, the podcast that birthed us. They do retro video games, if you haven't heard of them, and they do them pretty well.
Yes.
I'm going to be a guest host this week.
Oh, nice. How'd you score that?
Because they're doing a topic. They're doing Neverwinter Nights.
Oh, nice.
And they were like, hey, you play Neverwinter Nights with us, and Saturn hates PC games, so.
There you go. You got it.
Anyway, let's get into what we've been doing since last time. I finally watched the trial of the Chicago 7.
I still need to watch that.
Oh, I thought you had watched it.
No, I was going to, and then I didn't.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
That happens on a lot of movies.
Yeah, it does. I was like, I'm going to watch this movie. Nope.
I've watched Ted Lasso up to the most recent episode. I think that's either 4 or 5 now.
Yeah, me too. Good stuff.
Yeah, it is good stuff. I like it. They had a Christmas episode that was really good. And then I will always contend that Ted Lasso is one of the most wholesome shows around.
It's a great show. It's great content. I enjoy watching it.
Yeah, you should look into that Apple TV Plus. It's almost worth it.
Yeah, for the one show.
Right. Although they are doing the Foundation series or whatever.
Mm.
Oh, okay. Well, Isaac Asimov wrote like some books back in like the 30s or 40s.
Oh, yeah.
Called Foundation, which is basically the premise of that book is there's a mathematician who in the far future predicts what's like galactic events for the next 3,000 years. And it's just him being right over and over again. And it's pretty great. Like he sets up this like hollow recording that plays like once every 1,000 years. And it's like, here's what should have happened by now.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
And then I watched Space Jam: A New Legacy, finally with my child.
Did I mention I watched that last time? I know I've watched it.
Yeah, I think you did, because you said that Emily was like, "There's not even space in here," and you're like,
yeah.
"There's
like,
cyberspace."
Cyberspace.
Yeah.
Did you use that line on your kid?
No, like I was watching it wondering like I know a bunch of it's going over his head, but it did solve the problem of me trying to figure out why in the hell he's like super into like wanting to get into Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
He's 8. I'm like, how do you even know Rick and Morty?
Yeah, that's weird.
Like in Space Jam.
Really?
Yeah, because Rick shows up.
Oh yeah, for like a minute.
Yeah. And so he recognizes them, and then he sees Rick and Morty on like Rick and Morty license crap, and he's like, oh, hey. I'm like, no.
Yeah. Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah. And then there were a couple of things like that. Like there was the Wile E. Coyote like "Witness Me" thing from.
Oh yeah, I loved that. That was great.
Yeah, it was funny, but I don't think an 8-year-old's gonna get it.
Nope. No, that was definitely for the adults. That was great, man.
But I liked all the little different universes and the way that they threw that all together. I thought it was a fun movie. It's not a grown up movie, but it has it's like on the. I'm trying to think of another like kids movie that we talked about, but like it's like lower tier kids movie than say like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse or even like Sonic.
I feel like those movies are not like. I wouldn't consider those kid movies.
Right.
Yeah. But Space Jam definitely was like a kid's movie.
Yeah, it was a kid-oriented family movie, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway, what have you been up to? What have you been watching?
I finally saw One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Never seen it before.
Really? Never?
Never saw it. We had been... Well, my wife and I wanted to watch the Nurse Ratched show on Netflix.
Yeah.
And we're like, we should probably watch, the movie that it's based on before we watch the television show. And for one, we don't really understand why, like, they made a whole series about Nurse Ratched. Because she's, not to be crass, she's just a bitch. Like, she's not, like, evil or anything. Like, she's just a controlling person. Like... So we don't really understand like why they made the show where it seems like she's an evil like person. But maybe we'll watch the show. We haven't started the show, so maybe we'll see where that goes. But it was good. It's a good movie. A little bit, outdated for its time, but
sure. It's funny after watching because I didn't watch it till I was in my 30s, I think. After watching it, a lot of Simpsons references suddenly made sense.
Yeah. Well, there's also there's the scene where he comes like after he gets the electroshock therapy for the first time.
Yeah.
And he walks in and he's all like brain scattered, like acts like he doesn't know where he's at.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, oh man, that scene from Heavyweights makes sense now. Anyway, watched Predator for the first time also. A couple first times. Never seen Predator before. That was an alright movie.
I don't know that I've seen Predator all the way through since I was like 8.
Yeah, I'd never seen it at all before. So this was a first time for me and my wife watched that. Justin made us watch it. So he didn't make us. We were like, hey, do you want to watch a movie? And he was like, yeah. And then he was like, have you guys seen Predator? And we're like, no. And he was like, well, we're going to watch Predator now.
I feel like I don't feel like that was an appropriate movie for an 8-year-old to see.
Yeah, probably not.
But like back in the day, like, I don't know if it was just because everything was on VHS on like smaller screens, but it seems like once stuff hit video, it was like all ages were exposed to it.
Yeah, well, I also feel like now, like, it's so tame compared to things that come out now that I feel like an 8-year-old could watch it and be fine. I mean, you came out okay, so...
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you saying that.
Obviously didn't do too much damage to you. I watched season 9 of American Horror Story.
Nice. I never got past season 2.
We've like slowly been making our way through it. Season 9 was good until like a certain point, and then it kind of just got dumb, which is kind of how all of the seasons are. Like they're kind of good to a point, and then they go off the rails. Watched all of. Go ahead.
Sorry, I was gonna say I don't remember the actor's name. Oh no, it's Dylan McDermott, right? He's in the first season. I don't know if he's in any of the other seasons, but he played like the dad or husband or whatever.
Oh yeah, he's actually in the later seasons.
Oh, nice.
Like he shows up, like he's in the first season, and then he shows up in like the 8th and the 9th season for some reason.
Yeah, probably because he needed a paycheck, I would guess.
Yeah, I would guess so.
Like, the whole time he's on there, like I'm watching it, and every time he pops up, I can't remember if his name is Dylan McDermott or
Dermot McDillon.
Yeah, I can't remember the other guy's name. God damn it. Oh well. The point being that I spend like the majority of his screen time trying to figure out what his name is rather than watch the show.
I do that with a lot of actors, but that's just because I'm bad with names.
Oh, Dermot Mulroney.
Oh, I don't even know who that is.
Oh, well, you should Google him eventually, I guess. I don't know.
One day I will.
One day. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
I watched all of Schmigadoon, which is another.
Is it done with the first season or whatever?
Yeah, it was only like 6 episodes.
Yeah, I caught pieces of it while Kristen was watching it.
I don't know if they'll do another season because it kind of it ended in a way that was they would have either had another episode or they would have it's done kind of a thing.
Interesting.
So, yeah, I think it's only like 6-7 episodes. But it was good. If you like old style musicals, I don't know how. I'm not like a huge musical buff person, but my wife is, and she was sitting there through a lot of the songs, and she's like, I don't know how they're legally getting away with these songs because they're so like the songs that they're based off of. Mm-hmm. Like they're so similar that they would get into legal trouble. So the only thing she can think of is that what is parody law maybe. Is they're getting away with it through parody law, but there's one song that it's like some of the words are the exact same and that the melody is literally the exact same. So if you're into old musicals, I would definitely highly recommend that show. And it was, even if you're not like me, I'm not like, I like musicals, but I'm not like a huge musical buff. And I enjoyed it a lot. So other than that, Brooklyn Nine-Nine's back. Super happy about that. It's the last season.
Yeah, I need to catch that show. I think I will eventually.
It's a good show, man. They postponed this season because of everything that's been happening with police officers.
That makes some sense.
And so they're like, well, they basically scrapped their entire season plan that they had and rewrote the season to try to basically do some social commentary about why it's important to punish someone or I guess reprimand a police officer that's done a shitty job, I guess would be the way to do it, or that has done something wrong. Anyway.
Did Andy Samberg kill someone?
No, he doesn't kill someone. They don't do anything that like that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, fine.
Why are you sad?
I don't know, because I feel like if anybody can do something like that tastefully funny, it's probably that team.
I don't know if anyone can do that tastefully funny.
From what I hear, they do a good job of social commentary on that show.
Oh yeah, they definitely do, and that's like the later seasons have all like it kind of. I kind of don't like it because you're sitting there and you're teaching a message, and I just want a funny show. Like I don't want to learn anything. Anyway, that's been my couple weeks.
All right, well then let's go on to news. Luis Guzman to play Gomez Addams in Tim Burton's Wednesday series.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Elaborate.
I like Luis Guzman. I've liked him in everything he's been in that I've seen. And I like him as an actor, but I don't know if he would make a good Gomez. Like, I can't picture him as Gomez.
I mean, he seems to fit the sort of... I'll say that he doesn't seem to fit the classic TV and movie Gomez's, right?
Right, he fits like the comic, like short, stubby...
Yeah.
Gomez.
And like the cartoon that they had...
Yeah, the newest movie.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the movie. No, I meant the like cartoon from the 90s.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he doesn't fit the 90s movies Gomez for sure, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes. We'll just see how it goes.
I know that my thought when I heard it was like, why did they get a Hispanic man to play Gomez? And then I was like, oh, right, because his name is Gomez.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great thought process there. My response was Luis Guzman. That's a weird choice. I like your response better.
Yeah, no, I was accidentally racist in that moment. My bad. Sony and Amazon make a $100 million deal to skip theaters and go direct to Amazon with Hotel Transylvania 4.
Okay.
Those movies, like, I haven't seen any of them, so I really can't comment on their quality, but they seem to be doing well, and I think Justin enjoyed them.
I've never seen any of them.
Yeah, I don't know. But, like, to me, it's like Adam Sandler doing a cartoon that sounds kind of awful, but apparently they're doing well enough for them not to go into theaters with it.
And having 4 movies.
Yeah. Which I know, like, back in the day, like, Land Before Time 4 straight to DVD or straight to tape or whatever was not high quality movie, but this seems to be a different situation.
Yeah, I feel like we're in a new landscape of releasing straight to streaming being okay. Like, it's kind of slowly coming that way. Even with HBO saying they're not going to do it next year or whatever. Or whatever.
The Green Knight coming early to streaming, purchase, and rental. It is available 6 days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, or 8 days ago, whatever. So by the time this comes out, it's been available. I think the original plan was for it to come out sometime in September or October, but they moved it up. Snake Eyes is releasing early on digital. It's available now as well. News, not news. We just did news. Topic. Our topic today is the Suicide Squad, as you may remember from our intro of the Suicide Squad.
Oh, we're keeping that? All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Now you have to keep it because I said it. And you said
thanks. Synopsis: a group of supervillain convicts are assembled to go infiltrate the island country of Corto Maltese. Things don't really go according to plan. If the first part of that seems familiar, it's because it is. Released on August 5th on HBO Max, same day as theaters.
Yeah.
It's been in development since 2016, but with the underperformance of Suicide Squad, David Ayer decided he wanted to do other things. And originally, Warner tapped Mel Gibson to direct the sequel.
Fucking gross.
Right. Thankfully, he dropped out due to scheduling conflicts.
Yeah, Jesus, thank you.
Never mind.
Are you going to make a Passion of the Christ joke?
I was. And then there was this weird time where Disney said, nope, James Gunn, you had a weird tweet. We didn't like it. So they fired James Gunn after 2 successful Guardians of the Galaxy movies, and I forget who they turned to develop Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Do you remember off the top of your head?
No, but they turned back to James Gunn, so that's all that matters.
Right. So in between Guardians of the Galaxy movies, James Gunn signed on to do this movie.
Was it Taika Waititi that they turned to? Because that was during the time that the Thor Ragnarok came out. And it was successful, so they were like, Taika Waititi, you do it. And he was like, I don't think I can do as good a job as James Gunn. I think. I don't remember.
Well, we'll take it as gospel fact here. It's what we do.
Okay. No, don't do that.
But apparently WB wanted him to direct a new Superman movie, but James Gunn was like, no, thank you. And they said, okay, well, what do you want to do? And he goes, can I do a Suicide Squad movie? And they said yes.
Which is weird, because usually they make bad choices.
Right. So, directed by James Gunn, written by James Gunn, starring Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, Idris Elba as Bloodsport, Joel Kinnaman as Rick Flag, and John Cena as the Peacemaker.
I just looked it up. I was right. Taika Waititi was looked at for Guardians 3, but turned it down.
There you go. Confirmed. Supporting roles: Viola Davis as Amanda Waller again, David Sastmalkian as Polka Dot Man, Daniela Melchior as Ratcatcher 2. I didn't put on here, but Taika Waititi is Ratcatcher.
That's true.
Peter Capaldi as the Thinker, and Sylvester Stallone as King Shark.
It took me a while to realize that was Peter Capaldi for some reason.
Oh, yeah? I thought you were going to say Sylvester Stallone, because I never realized that watching this movie.
I knew that before I watched the movie. So I had insider information about the cast.
Oh, insider information.
By that, I mean, I looked at IMDb.
Nice. I guess we didn't talk about it in news, but the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer dropped.
Oh, yeah, it finally came out after a million years of people wanting it.
Right. Like, I don't know where the expectation for that trailer coming out came, but all of a sudden people are like, why is there no trailer?
I think it's because the movie is probably going to come out this year, isn't it?
Yeah, it's November, I think.
Yeah,
or
so
December.
Like, it's a couple months before that movie comes out and there's no trailer, which is weird.
I guess. I don't know. I haven't seen it. I've done my best to avoid it. Like, as soon as I see something sort of Spider-Man related, I immediately tell Facebook, don't show me anything like this ever again.
Well, let me tell you what it's all about.
Fuck you. I will cancel your ticket.
What? That's rude.
Anyway, no, I wouldn't do that. That's mean. But so is spoiling movies.
I mean, I couldn't spoil the whole movie. I could spoil the trailer for you.
Right.
Let me just say this. Spider-Man's in it, okay?
Right.
All right.
Okay.
Did that spoil anything?
No, I didn't. But anyway, so back to the movie we were talking about. Just so people know that Spider-Man trailer's out. You can go see it if you want. Rotten Tomatoes, 91% on Rotten Tomatoes, and 83% audience score. 72 Metacritic, 7.2 audience.
It's weird that the audience score is lower to me.
What?
It's weird that the audience score is lower to me.
Yeah.
On Rotten Tomatoes. Because usually it's like the other way around.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah, I'm not wrong.
You're not wrong. I thought it was a fun, gory adventure. The characters were great and the story was okay to good, but it was way better than Suicide Squad.
Yeah, than the original.
Yeah, like 1,000,000% better. What do you think?
I thought from the start of the film, it earns its name, and the blood and gore and violence continues from there. I thought it was well written, well directed, definitely worth your time. But yeah, I watched it twice before.
Oh, nice. You have?
Yeah, I watched it once with my wife, and then a week later I watched it again before we were supposed to record last week. Nice.
I thought about watching it again this week. I rewatched that Harley fight scene. In the middle of the movie.
The colorful one?
Yeah, the colorful one. Just to kind of, well, we'll get into it. I actually have stuff about this written down. So would you suggest people watch it if you've watched it twice?
I mean, I would say it's definitely worth it if you've got HBO Max, and probably worth like just getting HBO Max for a month. Like, it's basically a movie rental at that point. Like, either rent it or get HBO Max for a month and enjoy other stuff too, because there's a bunch of other stuff on HBO Max that's worth it.
Yeah,
we're not sponsored by HBO Max
yet.
I just said HBO Max so many times that I didn't want anybody to think that we were sponsored by them.
Oh, okay.
This is not a paid ad.
Yeah. We only get we're not getting the HBO Max amount of money for this episode.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. So I think it's good too. I agree with everything you said. I think this is probably the best DC movie that we've had in a while. I mean, it depends on if you count the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League, because that was pretty good, but I don't know how that fits into new DC, right?
Even if even with that considered a new DC movie, I would still say this is better than. I would say it's better than that.
Yeah, for sure.
Mainly because the Snyder cut's 4 fucking hours long.
Yeah, this one felt longer. Not longer than 4 hours, but it felt longer than its running time for some reason.
Really, it felt like just right. I would watch was it David Ayer's cut which is supposed to be like 3 hours. I'd watch that Suicide Squad. I'd watch his vision.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, let's get into spoilers and talk about this movie.
Yeah.
Spoiler zone.
Spoiler zone.
Spoilers. Well, to spoil the very beginning, I liked that it's an actual suicide mission. Like the first 20 minutes is just like villains dying on a suicide mission.
Yeah.
But I thought that was nice.
Yeah, no,
nice
I thought that was good. I think they used it to great effect. I mean, I think James Gunn played on, the expectation that you already sort of knew what the setup was, right? With the original Suicide Squad. And sort of played on the expectations of, here, we're gathering the team, here's what it is, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I always felt like it was a goofy team, right?
Right.
And it didn't seem like something was necessarily going to develop of it. But I didn't expect it to go the direction it did by any means.
Yeah, I didn't expect them all to die. I know whenever I watch the trailer and it's like, meet the Suicide Squad, and there's like 15 of them or whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, how are they going to make 15 of them work in a movie? And it turns out they didn't. They didn't make it work. They just killed him at the very beginning. I thought Boomerang dying. Captain Boomerang.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's usually like Suicide Squad's staple. Like the new video game that's coming out, he's one of the main characters in the new video game. And I'm pretty sure in the comics he's one of the main Suicide Squad members, so it's kind of weird that they killed him off right in the very beginning.
Is his name Boomerang?
I think it's Captain Boomerang.
Is it Captain Boomerang? Is there Captain Boomerang in Marvel?
I don't think so.
Because there's some dude that lives with Spider-Man now that I'm pretty sure is Captain Boomerang.
Captain Boomerang is the DC Comics villain.
Yeah, then I don't know. Oh, maybe his name is just Boomerang in Marvel Comics. Yeah, that's what it is. Okay.
Captain Boomerang is DC. But yeah, it was kind of weird that they killed him off in the very, very beginning. Because the other, like, I'm not... Like, I like DC Comics, and for the most part, I read DC Comics or read DC Comics. But there's a lot of people, like, I know who Polka Dot Man was before this. I didn't know who the Javelin was, or was it TDK?
Oh, Detachable Arms Guy or whatever?
Yeah. I didn't know who that was beforehand. Which Nathan Fillion lost some weight for this movie. He's looking good. But yeah, what did you have?
All sorts of stuff. Okay, so Harley Quinn. I guess to get the big. I feel like Harley Quinn is one of the major characters in the movie and in DC, a major DC franchise character at this point, right?
Yeah.
She's up there. She's been in multiple movies. And seems to be a major part of the DCEU. Point being that it almost feels like these movies are Harley Quinn movies more than they are Birds of Prey or Suicide Squad or whatever. And I feel like that was mitigated a lot in this movie. I loved her dress. I love the way that in that fight scene, how it got ripped up and how it became part of the flow of the action and. I don't know. It was just really neat. I liked her outfits.
Yeah,
they're more comic accurate.
I mean, the dress.
Well, maybe not the dress, but
not so much. But
her outfit, her what is it? Task Force X outfit was more themed off the comic. Her Jester outfit,
right? Yeah, I would agree with that. I also liked that. I don't know. Most of her scenes were very colorful. So you had the whole fight scene with her that was like flowers and colorful flowers in her dress and everything. And then you also had whenever she stabbed Starro in the eye at the very end. That's a very colorful scene as well. So they really used color with her a lot.
I was watching a breakdown of that fight scene that was talking about the music, and you kind of have a note about the music here. How the music in the movie is very, I forget the word, maybe it's exogenic, but basically it means that the movie comes from an outside source.
Diagenic?
The music comes from an outside source in the movie.
Diagenic?
Yeah, is that what it is?
It's non-diagenic and diagenic sound. I can't remember which. One of them is the person in the movie can hear it, and the other is that the person watching the movie can only hear it.
Right. So the one that is the person in the movie can hear it is how that music in that scene is presented, because it starts out she's singing the song, so you know it's playing in her head.
Yeah.
And you know, as the sort of fight scene starts ramping up, the music, the audience can hear the music, and at the same time the visuals become much more cartoonized, I guess, more colorful. And so it's this like, seems like this representation of you entering into Harley's mind and seeing what she sees and how she sees violence as this like beautiful thing. And I think the color palette that they used for that scene and the way that they did that was really neat. And I can see how I can see what it's one of those things where I can see what the artist was going for. I mean, James Gunn in this case, it's because the execution was so good that even somebody like me who's not really great on picking up that sort of stuff, it came through to me.
Yeah, I mean, James Gunn is always really great at sound and music in general. I mean, that's all the Guardians of the Galaxy movies are him knowing what songs to use and what songs work well and resonate well with viewers. For anyone that's wondering, so we actually clarify, diegetic sound is sound music that comes from within the movie. So the person that is in the movie is also listening to it. So if the song is like on the radio in the movie, that's diegetic. Non-diegetic is like music that the audience hears but isn't heard in the movie.
There you go.
Lesson for you.
I liked Peacemaker.
I like the scene where he stabs that guy like 50 times whenever they're infiltrating the camp, and he just walks by him and just stabs him like nonchalant like 5 or 6 times. That was pretty funny. That whole scene was pretty funny.
The end of that scene is what made it. So like the scene was pretty good, right? Like just them casually like strolling through the village, like killing everybody.
Yeah.
But then like if I get Rick Flag being like, no, those are the good guys.
Yeah, and they're like, oh. Yeah. I've heard a rumor that they're gonna make a Peacemaker show for HBO.
Yeah, I saw something about that. I don't know. The after credit scene shows Peacemaker like being alive. I think he's in a coma, but he's alive in a hospital bed. So I think they do have plans to use him, in the future or whatever. But I can't, he doesn't seem to be like a redeemable character by any means. He's kind of an asshole. He doesn't have a whole lot of good qualities. I enjoyed the way that he was played and his unrepentantness.
Yeah. He's there for peace, no matter the cost.
No matter the cost. And like, I appreciate the way that John Cena played him, and I don't know if he can support his own sort of movie or show or whatever, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I guess we will see. I did want to say in the very beginning of the movie, King Shark swims like a normal human.
I didn't notice that. Like
you see the aerial view of them swimming to the island, and it shows like the heat vision shot.
Yeah.
And he's like swimming like a normal person. And my wife's like, well, he has arms and legs. And I'm like, yeah, but he's also still got a fin and he's a shark. Like, you think he would swim like a shark through the water. But he doesn't.
Huh. I want to say that he doesn't. He swims like a shark in like The Flash, the TV series.
Probably. But I'm saying in this movie, he does not.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of it because yeah, now that you mention it, like again, I didn't notice that like that he was using his arms or whatever. So now it's got me wondering, well, what did he do in the Flash? And I think he just kicked his feet real fast, kind of like Aquaman.
Weird. That's weird. I liked Sebastian the Rat.
I liked Sebastian. I like the Ratcatcher, and I like Taika Waititi, and I like both Ratcatchers, I guess.
I liked Sebastian. He was very cute. Very cute.
He
rat.
was. It was rude that nobody said hi to him.
Right? Nobody ever waved or shook his hand. What a bunch of jerks.
I like King Shark in the same sort of. He's cute. He's a giant man shark, and he's cute. Like when he goes up to like when he makes that little like plastic explosive peacemaker.
Oh yeah,
peacemaker.
That was pretty great. This
when I thought he died, I was the saddest.
Oh, I didn't think he died at any point.
Oh, yeah, no, I thought when he got knocked out of the building, he was gone.
No, she mentioned, I don't really know that much about King Shark, but when she mentioned he was basically a demigod, I was like, oh, okay, so he can't die at all. This movie is very gory. Can we talk about that?
It's super gory. Yeah, go ahead.
King Shark at one point rips a dude in half, and you see like his insides.
Mm-hmm.
Just so many explosions, body parts flying off, stabbing, gunshots. It was gorier than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, that's how I felt about Army of the Dead.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was a zombie movie, so I was like, zombie movie gore, that's, whatever.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be zombie movie gore, whatever, but it was extreme. Like, it was way more gory than I thought it was going to be.
Oh.
I don't think this movie is as gory as that movie, but it's kind of up there. But I think my expectation for gore of the movie was something like Guardians of the Galaxy Plus, right?
Yeah. Well, now you know what Guardians of the Galaxy could be if they made it rated R. I don't know. I don't really have that much more to talk about it. I mean, we already kind of mentioned my points. Music was great. The comedy was great, just like any other James Gunn movie. What else? I don't really think Starro was made out to be a bad guy in this movie.
Yeah, I don't think he was a bad guy until he started like taking people over, right?
Well, even then, you kind of feel for the guy. He's been like trapped in a bunker for 30 years being tortured. Like, what would you do? You would like escape and start like smashing people.
Well, I want to know how he got out in space in the first place and if he can't just fly back. Well, I mean, I guess he can't now. He's like super dead, but
right. I don't know. I don't know Starro's background. I think he was an experiment. But I know he's usually a Justice League villain, not a Suicide Squad villain. So that was kind of a weird twist.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I kind of want to talk about Task Force X a little. I mean, we talked about Nathan Fillion's character, and I thought his character was funny just because he was kind of generic and dumb.
Yeah,
like I liked that when he took his arms off, and he was just like more or less like slapping the people with his like disconnected
like just
arms.
hitting them like he wasn't actually taking a gun or anything. And I love like how much in pain he was when his arms were getting shot.
Yeah.
Like he's not getting shot, but his arms are, and he's still like screaming.
I forgot about that. Weasel was one of my favorite things in the movie.
Yeah. I guess James Gunn's brother will do anything for him.
What do you mean by that?
He was Weasel.
Oh,
he was the guy in the suit for Weasel, not like in the motion capture suit.
Yeah.
He was also in the prison at that one scene where he like makes fun of somebody. I can't remember who.
Oh, nice.
But he mocks somebody. But yeah, he's the guy, and he does. He also does all of the motion capture for Rocket.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought Weasel was a funny character. I'm glad that the after credits scene showed him like alive and well, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like James Gunn's brother. I can't remember his name.
Bob Gunn.
No, it's not Bob Gunn. But I feel like his curse is he's like, I want to be in movies. And James Gunn's like, I'll put you in movies.
And then Michael Rooker, I thought was played a neat character, I guess.
Sean Gunn.
There you go, Sean Gunn. I don't really have a lot to say about him other than like he looked weird with that long blonde wig.
Yeah, for sure. Did look a little bit weird. I also don't understand like his motivation for swimming backwards when he knew that he was gonna get his head blown off.
He was just scared, man.
I guess so, but I feel like my choices are like get my head blown off. I guess that's like instant death versus getting shot a bunch.
Yeah, a bunch of little instant deaths.
I don't know. Oh. I don't really have much. The story is really good. We didn't really go into it, but
no, I mean the story took a few twists and turns that, like I said, were unexpected. We didn't even talk about Idris Elba. Like he's like the main character or whatever, and
yeah, I did like that they didn't make him like my main problem with, or one of my main problems with the original Suicide Squad movie is that it's all about Deadshot.
Yeah.
When I think it should have been about the whole team, and I like that they made this movie like Idris Elba's character is at the forefront, but it's still about the whole team. It's not just about him, and I feel like the WB or the Warner Brothers cut of the original Suicide Squad basically just put Deadshot front and center, and I think that was a mistake.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I like seeing Rick Flag back. It sucks that he died, but I like Joel Kinnaman as an actor. Yeah, you missed that part of the movie?
Oh, man. No, I remember.
But yeah, no, I liked having him there. I liked the connection to the old movie. It felt like you had sort of a longer time with him as a character than you really did.
Yeah, and you're like a bridge.
Yeah.
Even though Harley
and Harley's there, but to have
Captain
them both
Boomerang's
together,
there.
Yeah, and along with Captain Boomerang, that's why it was so shocking that he died right off the bat, right?
Right.
Because there was this sort of expectation of, oh, well, maybe he's going to be in this movie because he was in the other one, and that it made his death really sad. And you could, it was one of those deaths where the character sees it coming, and that was sad to me.
Yeah, it was it was also very sudden.
Yeah. Yeah. It was sudden and resigned.
Yeah, agreed.
He's like, oh, well, shit. But yeah, I guess that's really it. Like you said, go see it. It was enjoyable, or watch it on HBO Max or whatever. It's worth it. Yeah,
I don't know why it sounds like you're grasping for straws.
I'm just grasping for straws here because I don't know where I want to go with the show right now.
There's so many straws around you, and you're just grasping for all of them.
Yeah, no, I guess it feels like there's more to talk about in the movie, but now that I'm thinking about it, I can't think of what that more is. I feel the same. Polka Dot Man. We could have talked about Peter Capaldi's character, the Thinker. There are a few other things to talk about, but at this point, I don't know that it's going to be anything other than us just being like, yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, same.
I liked when he puked polka dots. It was neat.
Yeah, I like when he kills his mother. Oh, I was so sad at the end whenever he was like, "I'm a superhero," and then he just dies.
That was sad. I did like when he saw Starro as his mom. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, I don't know why he went for the leg, but whatever. All right,
he just did. If you want to see it, you can still see it in theaters, and you can check it out on HBO Max. Like we said, I'm sure it's probably going to be available to rent soon on any kind of streaming service. So check it out. It's definitely worth a watch, and it's one of the better DC offerings as of late. So we're going to get out of here. Thank you for listening to us. Rate and review us on iTunes, all that good shit. And next time we're going to talk about Cruella.
Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.